It's a post-fight reaction to Chris Colbert versus Omar Salcido. The fight last night it started off decent, kind of slow pace. Salcido got right to the point where he was going to do what he needed to do, fighting the inside, pressure, throw that right hand. And Chris Colbert was not really as active early on. He was letting his hands fly a little bit, pick and pop. He was keeping it in the center of the ring. I think towards the middle rounds, uh, when he started to get towards those ropes, that's where a lot of things went wrong. Usually in Chris Colbert's fights, he'll keep it in the center of the ring for a little while, and then as he gets a little bit more tired and fatigued, he'll kind of go towards those ropes and use them as a way to keep his legs fresh or to save stamina. But you take a lot of damage like that, and Salcedo had him on the ropes for most of the fight, especially the second half of the fight. And Chris Colbert was doing some good, decent things. He was landing, winning some rounds, but it wasn't enough in the long run to actually put any damage on Salcedo. So the things he was doing, like trying to go to the body, it didn't work. I think he was going up top too much, wasn't jabbing enough. And Salcedo, he realized, okay, Colbert's not going to box. If you force him out of boxing and just brawl with him as long as you can and punch with him, you'll be able to take advantage of him. Because Colbert's not going to sit there and box somebody who's sitting there just punching and brawling with him and being aggressive. That's not usually what he does. He'll try to match that same energy or same style or level. And Salcedo kind of walked into that trap, and it worked this time. It definitely worked. And he was putting a lot of damage on him late in the fight. I felt like Salcedo was going to end up either stopping him or he was going to end up putting so much pressure on him in the last couple of rounds he was going to lose anyways on the cards. Because it looked like Colbert was starting to mail it in. Was he the worst at that time before the fight started? No, he wasn't. But when his trainer already warning him, I think 2 rounds before that he needs to try to win the fight and everything else, but that makes a lot of sense. But the way I was looking at it is, are you throwing it in the towel because of what you're not doing or what he's not doing, or because of his injury? Because usually when you throw in the towel, it's because of injury or for safety reasons. But Colbert wasn't really bleeding or didn't have any injuries. And for them to throw the towel in, it was kind of like almost quitting almost in my eyes, because you still got 2 or 3 rounds in a fight. You know what I'm saying? You still got a chance in a fight. Anything can happen in a fight. And when you don't believe, or your team believes in yourself as a fighter, and they throw the towel in so quick on you as a fighter, it's like you got to look at things and say, man, where's my career really at? I got people that's supposed to believe in me throwing the towel in. And that's how I was looking at it. I'm like, do they believe in you or not? Because you don't just throw the towel in on somebody. But he wasn't coming in there fighting like a headliner, wasn't fighting like a top talent, and wasn't fighting like somebody who was in shape. He looked like he was out of shape, looked like he had a belly, a gut. He wasn't shredded up. Everybody else on the card was in their best shape they've ever been. I've seen the photos. A lot of these guys that fought on that card last night, they were in the best shape they could be in for this fight. Even the guy who got stopped by Lopez, he was in very good shape. So a lot of these guys came in good shape. And for Colbert to come in there, he looked out of shape to me. Face looked a little fat. Torso looked a little big. I'm like, nah. Even going into the fight, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this ain't good, man. It really ain't. But I think Salcido did a good job, man. The fight was really more about what he did. I think he did a lot and brought a lot to the table. I think he bounced back from a loss he had recently. And this is a good win for him to have on his resume. Chris Colbert, he still looked at as a decent name on a resume, a big win. So that's going to be good for Salcido, man. You come out there prepared. And Jose Benavidez Sr. David Benavidez's dad was trainer last night for Salcido, so did a good job, man. He had him come out prepared, stuck to the strategy. He was rough for Salcedo. And I know that Benavidez Sr. wanted to get that win because I know the first time he got robbed when he was training with Rayo against Colbert. And that was a close fight. I felt like Rayo won the fight, but it was a close fight. So with him to get a little bit of revenge, I know that felt good. Like, I got my win under him. I couldn't do it with Rayo, but so it makes a lot of sense. I think it was a good fight for Salcedo, but it wasn't a good competitive fight on Colbert's end. Just felt like he left much to be desired. This could be because at the end of the day, you've had plenty of time to be a main event attraction. I mean, they've been pushing Colbert to get these big fights for a while now. And when you got these other guys in your division and other people stepping up, and then you got other people coming into the division, eventually fans and promoters and everybody else, they're going to try to move on. And this was like one of his shots where he could have made something happen, but he didn't look serious about it, man. To be honest with you, he looked more like a businessman. He looked more like he has other things going on in his career. That's it. He looks like he has a lot more going on in his career, but that was a good thing for him to go out there and try at least. Give it one more go, but a lot of people say his career is possibly over. Yeah, it is possibly over. Not because he lost a fight. I've seen guys with 6 or 7 losses. But it's about how you go out and lose. You get a towel thrown in. You don't really show any emotion about it. It's just a lot of carelessness. But Salcedo did a good job, man. He did a good job. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight again and what he has next.